Oh, I love it. Interactive audience. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for having me on the stage. This is my second time here, and a little different a story, but still embodying what speaks greatly to me, which is anything to do with the heart. I guess where I'm going to start my story is, well, at the beginning. For as long as I can remember, I've been a die-hard romantic. My first crush was Superman. That Christopher Reeves, I tell you. But having that deep sense of romance and for relationship and the fantasy and the stories that are told to us from when we're little up to when we mature, having a crush on someone like Superman didn't really suit me well for my dating future. There was a lot of disappointment. And it saw me going through a series of interesting dates, getting married at 25, and if you did hear me speak last time, you'll know how well that went. And what happened because of this is I became fascinated with the social romantic dynamic between two people, and spent years observing and writing about it, observing other people and writing about it, interviewing people from small towns to big towns to really anyone that would talk to me. And continued to have my own interesting experiences and always looking outside of myself to try and find answers and where the hell my Superman was. So much so that I had a successful blog for years, and then I made the decision that I had to stop being an observer and get more involved. So this included me creating a dating service, and then from there starting a coaching business. So, you know, 15 plus years in, I felt like I kind of had things handled. Like I knew the answer to these things, to the great question of what makes relationships work. But fascinated with the dynamic in Vancouver, I wanted to further my research. So I started a movement called Connect Vancouver. And this had me, without fail, every Tuesday with a sign, going to different cafes around the city and interviewing people, inviting them to sit down and tell me about their dating experiences in Vancouver. What did love mean to them? What did relationship mean to them? And I got a lot of fascinating intel. It was great. Some of it substantiated what I felt were my own reasons as to why I was single and what was going on and the dilemma, but it was always outside of me, outside of me, outside of me. And I was coming to the end of my year of research and interviewing, and I was speaking to one gentleman, and he decided to turn the tables on me and asked me why I was single. And I gave him what I felt were very legitimate, rational reasons as to why I was not in partnership with someone. And then he said the three little words, "I call bullshit." So the girl that had spent years of research and writing and had her own service and was helping others with their romantic life, immediately went into righteousness and stood up a little taller on my high horse and got defensive. And thank God I've done enough work to know that when that happens, well, really the jig is up, because someone's pushed into something that has an semblance of truth to it. So then once the body calmed down and I thanked him for his time, I sort of tucked my tail between my legs and went home and started to do some really reflective calling of bullshit on myself. Why am I so defensive? what's really the truth behind these reasons that I'm giving as to why I'm single? You know, I'm so busy, I'm helping other people, I haven't met the right person, blah, blah, blah. And started to do the work to unfold the bullshit, the BS, as my dear friend that's sitting in the audience calls BS, is our belief systems, and mine were not serving me well. And what happened was me going into a deep dive of honest, truth-telling reflection about my own relationship with myself and with the people in my life, looking at the patterns of non-supermen in my life and the choices that I had made, and the only common denominator was me. So in doing this revealing, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself, and I think I learned more in the last 8 months than I did in the 15 plus years of interviewing a bunch of other people, because I had never interviewed myself. And what's happened in doing this honest revealing work, and work that you have to keep on working, is it has presented me with an abundance of beautiful gifts of love and connection, one of which is sitting in the audience tonight. Thank you.